Good evening everybody and welcome back to the Vertex Stock Car Cup for the final round of the championship here from Martinsville. We have before us the Martinsville 200 presented by Student Motorsport. My name is Chaz Draycott, here to guide you through the action this evening, and I tell you what, I am very excited for this one. We've got a nice short circuit ahead of us, plenty of drivers that are going to be hungry for some results, and because it's the last round, the elbows are really going to be out this evening. Just taking a look then at the championship standings, we have our very own and one of my favourite drivers this season, Connor Mills, topping the table at the moment. He's actually in the pit lane as things stand. He's actually out, not even out on the circuit. He leads the championship, and he is only 5 points ahead of Alex Sedgwick. Connor Mills on 167 points, Alex Sedgwick on 162 points. Alex is ineligible to take the title because he's considered a pro driver in this series. Same with Ben Creaner, and also the same with Gil Linster as well. Those guys are not eligible for the title. Only, to be fair, 7 points behind him is Brian Crowles. Now Brian, I say it all the time, but not without good reason. Brian has had such a following this season on YouTube and on all of our streaming platforms. It's been amazing. Guillaume Hesno has 150 points, Billy Fletcher 140, and Lewis Corton has 137. Now, there's 43 points on offer tonight for the race winner, and when penalties aren't taken into consideration, it could go any one of those guys' way tonight. All they need is basically a poor result for one of their rivals in the field, and they're going to be looking at a severe jump in points. Here is James Harvey for Student Motorsport, of course tonight's sponsor. We are very grateful for them. Just going to go on board for a lap and just see what this circuit's like. It is so short. Onto the throttle, back onto the brakes. Keep it nice and tidy in turn one. There is curb and grass here, which you don't usually see on a lot of shorter circuits in NASCAR. There's been a lot of controversy here before. Some famous pit maneuvers in NASCAR. People taking one another out. Apologies. Oh, James actually spins it around and wedges the car in the wall. Not exactly what he would have been wanting to do. Here's Ben Creaner. Ben has been very exciting to watch this season. He was leading most of the race at Zolder in the Luxim 24 Challenge last week. I believe I need to just update the paints on here, so bear with me while they all update. You'll have a lot of white cars around. Ben did tell me that he was running a special livery tonight, so we'll have to see if we can have a look at that. This is Alistair Topley for Rogue Motorsport, another one that I've enjoyed watching this season. He's been having a lot of fun in this championship. Aaron Smith in the bright yellow Bumblebee that you could see there is in third position. And practice is just coming to an end now, so we're going to have qualifying. We've got 200 laps ahead of us tonight, totaling 100 miles. It's half a mile per lap. Okay, so the overlay will jump around a little bit. We'll see who goes out and comes in first. So here's Connor Mills, just sat on the pit exit. Jack Mace has just gone out on track for Mace Motorsports. Really excited to see what these guys can do though tonight. It's a very technical circuit, bearing in mind that it is so short. You know, you want to dive in as late as you can on the brakes into each and every corner, but it's just not as simple as that. You know, keeping it smooth in these cars, just trying to get on the throttle as soon as you can. It really isn't easy to do, especially with the power that these things have. And, you know, they're not the most planted and best handling cars in the world. You can see Jack there taking a bit of a wide run. Let's just have a quick look at the gaps then on the left-hand side, see how this goes. Guillaume Hesno top at the moment. Connor Mills jumps in there. Brian Crowles goes fourth. Harvey displaces him in fourth place. Mills is nearly a tenth of a second clear. Scratch that. He's 12 thousandths off Jason Glenn in the 55. Ben Creaner goes top, 14 thousandths at the top of the field is Ben Creaner, and there is Ben's livery. He did tell me this evening that in quite a nice fashion as well, he's running the number 643 on his bonnet tonight. It's paying tribute to the late Keir Miller, who died in a mini-stocks race in May 2015. Ben was racing with him at the time, good friend and competitor of his. He says he runs a tribute livery once a season, and he's doing just that tonight, which is a lovely, lovely touch from Ben. So big respect for that. He's Yves Liddell in a very different livery, actually, for TGS competition. A bit further down the order at the moment, Yves Liddell 19th, but Carina still top. From Jason Glenn, Connor Mills, Lewis Courtney, Adrian Burks. And Orton Eels is back out there tonight. He's in 14th position as things stand, 4/10 off the fastest lap in the number 10 AWE Motorsport car. Oh, rubbing along the wall on the straight. Here's Zach Yeardley. Just behind it, another AWE Motorsport car. And Sean Hollenby is a newcomer to the championship tonight for AMDtuning.com. Great to see Sean out there. He does own the AMD tuning team, and I've just realised that the team name isn't showing up, so bear with us, and there you go. Thank you very much. There it is for you, Sean. I've met Sean, been to British touring car events with him. Top guy. Speaking of British touring cars, Adam Morgan out there on track at the moment for Sicily Motorsport. Not sure if Dan Rowbottom is joining us this evening. Doesn't look like it. I can't see him on the timing tower. Looks like Adam's just taking it easy at the moment. Not quite sure whether he's had an issue or something. Mark Murphy and Guillaume Hesno have done their laps and they're just sat in the exit of the pit lane at the moment. Same with Justin Niger. The car just sat there idling away. Just seeing if there is anyone else on a lap. Alex Sedgwick is on a lap at the moment. And there he goes to the top of the standings in the Vertex sports car. By nearly 1/10 of a second as well goes Alex, so very well done. Freinsteiner goes into second by 7 thousandths. Incredibly close. Incredibly close indeed. The Swiss driver for leadlap.de Racing showing just what he can do. He had a bit of a topsy-turvy race at Zolder last week, but he's representing the Toyotas here. James Harvey's usually the top Toyota in the field, but Marcel Freinsteiner doing a fantastic job. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong, by the way, but I did go over that last week. And I think that may be qualifying then. That might be it, to be fair. I'll have to see. I'm not sure whether there's anyone else out on track. Doesn't look like it. So in just a moment, we should have the grid. The session will just tick over. But I think because of these guys that are sat in the pit lane, just these few here, they're all in their own qualifying session, by the way, so they're not all together on track, so it's not absolute mayhem. But I think because everyone's just going to be rounding out their laps now, it should tick over in just a sec. But this is going to be a very, very difficult race for these guys tonight. You can see just how narrow this circuit gets as you go onto the straight there. Just at the top of your shot, it's very wide around the left-handers, of course. These sorts of cars love turning left. That's what they're made for, essentially. But the straights are so much narrower than the corners, so you may see some of the guys go down the inside, maybe wash up out wide on the exit of the corner, and go from there. Fingers crossed we still see some good pace from them all. Apologies if there are any blips in the internet, by the way. I've been having terrible trouble with my Wi-Fi this last few days, so if there are any blips in quality, I do apologise in advance. I'm going to make sure that I power through it as best I can. And just see what we can get. There's another one as well. I can see it happening as well on my screen, which is the most frustrating part. So I'm really sorry, everybody, if there are issues. But that's Mark Murphy there in the number 58 machine for Turn 4 Motorsport. Guillaume Hesno is actually out on track again, doing some more laps. So he's decided to get the use of it. Either that, or he's just doing it for some pretty pictures. And just taking it nice and chill. We've got lots of people shouting for Team Crowles and Brax Racing. Brian down in 12th place on the grid at the moment. I'm sure that Brian will do a great job in terms of getting back up. Here is Gil Linster across the line. He's not done his lap yet, neither is Jonathan Rex. So we'll actually stick to the timing tower on the left just so you can see. Jonathan Rex is about to complete his first lap, actually. Crosses the line. Puts it 19th at the moment. half a second off the pace. Gil Linster crossing the line. Where does he go? 16th place, 0.46 of a second off at the moment. And it's that quick. Jonathan Rex has nearly finished his next lap. Oh, he lights it up on the exit and he's going to kiss the wall. No, he keeps it out the wall, but that's obviously not going to be an improvement on his lap time. Gil Linster across the line again. There he goes. Does he improve? No, doesn't look like it. So they should be the final laps of the session then to really get this all rounded out. Mark Murphy has decided to go out again as well. These boys are just going to extend this session by staying on track. They're just making the most of the laps. Every single lap of practice you can get in around here is going to be worth it. So much contact with that wall down the straight. Alistair Topley is into 12th place, by the way, in the 41 Rogue Motorsport car. I think that was the end of qualifying. Either that or no, that was not the end of qualifying. That's my internet being a pain. So again, sorry for that. This is Guillaume Hesno in 9th position. You can just see how narrow this circuit is as well. It's quite amazing. It's great to see him still making the most of having the laps available to him. Especially with this wide-angle camera as well, it makes it look even more aggressive in terms of how wide it is. Great to watch. And that is the end of qualifying then. So we have our grid for the race. And there it is then. Alex Sedgwick pole position from Marcel Freiensteiner with Ben Kriener and Jason Glenn on row 2. We then have Connor Mills and Lewis Corton on row 3. And we have Adrian Burks and James Harvey on row 4. Guillaume Hesno lines up alongside Aaron Smith to round out your top 10, with Mark Murphy and Alistair Topley on the 6th row out your top 20. We then have Jonathan Rex and Neil Ives with George Tolsma on the 12th row of the grid. Then we have Yves Liddell, Justin Niger, Adam Morgan, and our race director that would have just popped up on screen there is Mike Yao. So the car's flickering in and out then, as they do. My internet being a pain, and the sim only drawing a certain amount of cars. So please do bear with me while we wait for this. I apologise for the issues with the Wi-Fi, by the way, guys. There's not really a massive amount I can do right now. Trying everything I can. Okay, so the guys are going to start moving now, then we're going to get this underway. Or I hope we are anyway. Here we go then. Making their way round as things stand. Alex Sedgwick is going to lead the field away to decide the championship then. Of course, Alex cannot win the title. He's ineligible for a championship win. But he's alongside Freiensteiner. Ben Kriener there in 3rd position. 200 laps, as you can see in the top left of your screen. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed. Ben Kriener actually that far down the track, he's showing is going into the pit lane at the moment. I hope the connection's a bit more stable now, everybody. Thank you for your patience on that. But we're about to get things underway then. I'll shut the music up, let the cars do the talking, and the Martinsville 200 presented by Student Motorsport is underway, and Alex Sedgwick sends it from the start. Freinsteiner gets caught out. Connor Mills is going to go to the inside. Let's look down the order, see if there's any contact, any little turns, anybody going around. No, everyone's behaving themselves by the look of it. Oh, there's contact there. That's Neil Ives and George Tolsma, two of the most standout cars on the grid in terms of colour scheme. Connor Mills and Freinsteiner side by side. Look at the field behind them. Lap traffic will be an issue for these guys tonight. Please do bear that in mind. The fuel window is going to be between 110 to 120 laps, and the tyres will probably do about 60, I've been told, so we'll have to see how these guys cope with that. Aaron Smith here side by side with James Harvey, just behind him there as well. Jack Mason, Billy Fletcher, the 36 and the 88 side by side as they come across the line. Oh, Jack just dropping in and out there. Gets a tap from Antwalt and Eels behind. Probably not expecting him to reappear right in front of him like that. Jonathan Rex and Neil Ives have had an issue. Let's have a look. Jonathan Rex, that's Jeff Hooper down the inside, into the side of him. Turns him around, let's see what happens to Neil Ives. Oh, Neil's having some sort of connection issue there, he's blinking in and out. That's quite a damaged front end on that car. Yeah, that's not going to go around there, Neil. And that is all over for him by the look of it. He's sat on pit lane now. There's your race leader, Alex Sedgwick. Ben Kriener a second behind him, and he's got Freinsteiner right up his exhaust pipe. Bearing in mind the exhaust on these things are out the sides. Jason Glenn's got a bit of a train behind him. That's Lewis Corton, Adrian Burks, Guillaume Hesno, Mark Murphy. Brian Crowles is up 3 positions at the moment for Brax Racing. I'm sure his fan club will be very happy in the chat. Alistair Topley just behind him. Oh, Sean Hollenby's had an issue. Let's just have a quick check of what's happened to Sean. And the number 23. Oh, car disappears for a second, comes back in. Oh, he lights it up. Goes around and into the wall, unfortunately for Sean. He's back out there, he's a lap down. And these boys all just trying to negotiate around him at the moment. It's close here between Topley and Smith. What can Smith do about getting around Hollenby? Lap traffic will be an issue here, you know. The short nature of this circuit. Oh, Hollenby nearly makes contact with Aaron Smith. James Harvey's now going to try and go around him. Zach Yardley's in there as well. Hollenby getting in the way a little bit there of James Harvey. He wants to just continue on his way in this race. So does Neil Ives, but Neil sticking it to the inside there to try and stay out of people's way. It's not always the easiest thing to do. Yardley, Fletcher, they're all getting held up in front there between trying to get round Hollenby and trying to get round each other. There's contact with Fletcher and Yardley. Yardley sideways. Antwalt Eels misses him. Jack Mace doesn't. And into him goes Gil Linster as well. They carry on. We don't get cautions that easily around here. Yardley's dropping, he's got an issue. Adam Morgan's up 5 places at the moment. The lead battle's still about the same, but Guillaume Hesno and Mark Murphy are very close together here. And we're already on lap 10 out of 200, it's unbelievable. And I have not got myself a drink. So this is going to be a nice test. Oh, Adam Morgan's just had an issue, there's the curse. The Chaz Draycott curse is that I say someone's doing all right, and as soon as I look away from him, they have a crash. What happened here with Adam Morgan? Looks like, oh, Hollenby's involved there. Oh, no. Looks like Sean Hollenby got involved in, oh, he comes down the track. No, he's carrying on. Let's have a look. Oh, Ives just goes in deep. Neil Ives hits him. And then Sean rejoins onto the racing line. Tolsma then netcodes into the side of him. Tolsma was actually quite a distance away, and then Adam Morgan gets involved and the caution is out because of that. So Sedgwick's had a good first. Please do expect them. Pretty sure there will be plenty of them. 2.5 hours we reckon this race is going to last. Here's Gil Linster just recovering. I don't think it'll be 2.5 hours. That is the maximum time of the race anyway. Student Motorsport commenting on the Simply Race YouTube chat. Great to see you. Thank you for the sponsorship tonight, guys. We are very, very grateful for it. They've been very, very supportive of this championship all along. It's just fitting to have them sponsor the final round. Student Motorsport themselves are a non-profit membership organisation. They help to shape tomorrow's top motorsport industry talent. So they use the free membership. Students and individuals can access resources, placements, and showcase their talent to others and develop their work. So it's a great cause that they are very, very supportive of. Like we say, non-profit stuff as well. So very, very grateful for that. And of course, clap emojis in chat, please, for our race sponsors, for the great thing they do, for the wonderful industry that we all know and love as motorsport. You know, it's an amazing thing to be able to do. So many people, you know, understandably, it's business, you know, a lot of people do it for the money, but when it's non-profit, just to make sure that the right people get the right opportunities going forward in their careers, I think that's fantastic. So really, really appreciate that, and to help us out with this series as well is awesome. So yeah, thank you very much, Student Motorsport. Let's hope that their driver, James Harvey, has a good evening. He's got a little bit of damage on that car by the look of it. Either that or the Toyota Camry is just ugly. But that livery looks absolutely brilliant on that car. It's my favourite livery on the grid as well. I'm not just saying that because they're the race sponsors, honestly. It is my favourite livery on the grid. And James is a sound guy as well. Really, really good lad. He also streams these races from his own point of view if you wanted to go back and look afterwards. He's dropped 5 places at the moment, so he'll be hoping to get further up the order. Ant Wharton-Eales, just a few places back, has gained 2. Scott Jeffs has gained 4. Jeff Hooper's gained 4 as well. 5 places up is Yves Liddell, just in the back of shot there. We'll put the gains up on the left-hand side for you so you can see. But the biggest mover in the field is Yves Liddell at the moment. 5 positions gained. So we're going 2 by 2 now. Ben Kriener and Alex Sedgwick side by side at the front of the pack. And we're going to go back to green flag racing once again at Martinsville. Fantastic venue for this final round. I love this circuit. Never driven it on iRacing. I only downloaded it about half an hour ago, but here we go. Sedgwick is away. And he commands that inside line. Oh, Guillaume Hesno got in the middle of Alistair Topley and Jason Glenn, then he gets out of it, and he's lost a place to Mark Murphy in the 58 down the inside. They're 3 wide in the background. Oh, look at that there. Brian Crowell's just sneaking down on Alistair Topley. Oh, and that's Lewis Corton around, and he catches Brian, catches Alistair. There's a big check-up on the inside. That looks like Zach Yardley's gone around as well. Still can't decide how to pronounce his name. Just in front here, it's getting all feisty. Jeff Hooper, Scott Jeffs, Lewis Corton. There's more contact. Lewis Corton's around. Is he? No, he saves it. Keeps on going. Keeps on pushing. Wow. That was very feisty there for Lewis Corton. Let's just have a look at it. You can see him here. Just out of shot. There's a bit of contact and he's around, and then this is the big check-up. Some of them get around it. Zach Yardley just went around on his own by the look of it, just trying to avoid the incident. Scott Jeffs apparently went in the pit lane then. He was that far down the track, but that is not true. Connor Mills has passed Marcel Freiensteiner. Connor Mills, the championship leader at the moment. 43 points available for taking a win. Sedgwick, oh wow, Sean Hollenby was in the middle of the circuit there with Neil Ives. Well, Sean Hollenby's not made many friends this round. Neil Ives has been involved in a few incidents this season, so too is George Tolsma, who's the car in front of him there. Oh, Sean's in the wall. I tell you what, George's connection, George is in the United States, so there is quite a delay to his connection over there, but his car just seemed to bounce off him from miles away there on Sean Hollenby's car. And Connor Mills, the championship leader, despite not winning a race this season, is now back at the front of the pack. So it's all in his favour at the moment. We're a 10th of the way through the race. Lap 22 of 200 and we're under caution again. Not a lot Neil Ives could have done that, to be honest. Not much anybody could have done, but Cedric and Kriener did a great job to miss it. Guillaume Hesno's just come in the pit lane in the number 68 Red Face Racing car. See if anybody else jumps in as well. Ant Wharton-Eales has gained 10 places in this race so far. He's done a great job and made his way through all the carnage. But it's been quite tidy so far. Little tips here and there, spins, a few accidents. I think Sean Hollenby's had the most visits into the wall at the moment. Adam Morgan had a spin earlier. Neil Ives is also in the pit lane. He's just coming out of the pits, I think. In the very bright green Ram racing car. It's got quite a bit of damage on it as the 52. Looks like it doesn't want to behave itself. Seems to be having issues turning left, and as a NASCAR, that's not what you want. Can Connor take his first win tonight, guys? What do you reckon? Let us know in the chat, wherever you are. We've got streams going on all over YouTube on Simply Race, Vertex Esports, Lux Sim as well. We've got the Vertex Sport Management stream on Facebook as well. Hello to everybody there. And you guys watching on Alex Sedgwick Racing. Everyone across Simply Race on all of their platforms too. Thank you, everyone. And I've just realised in this very moment that the stream hasn't gone live on my own Facebook page on Chaz Draycott Media. How heartbreaking is that? Oh well, the show goes on. 2 by 2 then. The field slots in. It's great because the caution periods don't last very long here because a lap isn't even that long behind the safety car. But it's going to be Connor Mills leading them away then in the chrome Mills Motorsport car with the pink and blue flashes up the side. Alex Sedgwick on the outside, Ben Kriener and Freinsteiner alongside him. The iRacing pace car, the Mustang, will filter off in a second in a very extravagant way. There it goes. Skid marks along the way as well. Ben Kriener wants to get moving. He's saying, come on, Connor, come on. Push it along. Alex is ready for him to go. Connor is away. Ben goes with him as well. Ben gets a great jump there and he's down the inside of Alex Sedgwick. Side by side behind them, Jason Glenn and Freinsteiner so close together. That's Mark Murphy in the 58 as well. Antwort Neal's just waiting for him. Then we've got Brian Krause, who's up 4 places to 9th at the moment. Just behind him is Billy Fletcher on the outside of Alistair Topley. Oh, Mark Murphy sideways saves it. Brian says, thank you very much. I'll take advantage of that. Down the inside goes Brian Krause and up into 8th position. He's on the favoured inside line now. Once you go on the outside though, you know, you're forcing the car on the inside to take the tighter line and go slower into the corner, but you've not got everything under control, and we've got another caution. Jonathan Rex apparently having issues this time. Let's have a look. Oh, he's just gone late into there. Hits. Oh, Jonathan Rex. Oh wow, and just in front Adrian Burks went around as well. Jonathan had a bit of a nightmare at Zolder, and he's gone deep in there. We've gone a bit too, not far back enough there. Goes in a bit too deep, hits Zach, getting further up the order, but it hasn't worked from this time. Jonathan Rex having another torrid evening, unfortunately. A lot of the guys coming in the pits, presumably for damage. Jonathan carries on though. Still Connor Mills out front though. Antwort Neal's is now up 11 positions in the number 10 car. He's been very exciting to watch this season, is Ant. He did an awesome job at Brands Hatch, and then I think he had a technical issue towards the end, or some sort of issue. Meant that he did not finish the race, I don't think. But I hope you're enjoying the stream at the moment, no matter where you are. I've certainly been enjoying this series and broadcasting it for everybody, and thank you for everyone that's sent in the comments regarding the stream and the organisation of this championship. We're very grateful for all of the comments, whether they be constructive feedback, constructive criticism, or praise for how well we've done everything. We really do appreciate the feedback no matter what, so thank you everybody. Yeah, it has been enjoyable racing. It's very close stuff around here. Once again, Connor Mills is ready to give these guys a restart following the Mustang. Fortunately for the Mustang, it doesn't have to go very fast around these corners, because Mustangs don't really do corners. Should see the lights go off next time we cross the line, and then we should have one lap of pacing to go. A little pop and bang there as Connor gets off the throttle. These things have a hell of a lot of power. Nearly 700 brake horsepower, 675 brake, 5.8 litre pushrod V8s. At tracks like Daytona, they're limited to 450 brake horsepower as well, so they've still got plenty even on the super speedways. Connor using every bit of that there to catch up to and almost overtake the pace car. He's intimidating it somewhat. Ivan is arguing the case that Mustangs do go around corners. The road cars might not. Look at this now, Connor saying to Ben, sending the message saying, I'm going to force you up there, and he's gone as well. Incredible start by Connor, but Ben, you know, he fights it so hard, does Ben Kriener. Side by side between Freinsteiner and Aaron Smith. Ben Kriener's gone down the inside actually, you know, and taken the lead from Connor Mills. What a great move. I didn't think he'd get that done, so I didn't stick with it, but I tell you what, Ben Kriener really pulls out the bag, and Alex Sedgwick goes through as well. Connor Mills has dropped like a stone at the moment. He's just got to think about his championship lead though. As long as he pretty much finishes the race and he's not too far behind, he's obviously got 5 points over Alex Sedgwick. And it's 1 point less per position. There's contact there with Jason Glenn, who runs wide. Connor is eligible for the championship win. Alex could win on points, of course, but he's not actually eligible for the prize or sort of being announced as the winner because he's one of the pro drivers. So Connor overall needs to just think about where he is in regards to Brian Crowles. There's 12 points between them, so if Connor finishes in 13th place and Brian wins, and he's still won the championship. So in that regard, he's not got too much to worry about, but at the same time, he still needs to be careful. This is Mark Murphy now with Brian Crowles and Alistair Topley behind, Billy Fletcher just behind him. I don't think there's going to be many cars without damage tonight, because look how close they are as a train. We'll go on the blimp cam just to get an idea. Look at that. You've got the magical pit stalls that just appear there like some sort of... Oh, Jason Glenn's around. He's in the middle of the road. Typical Chaz curse. You look away from someone and they're around. We've got a caution again. Let's have a look what happens to Jason Glenn. Sedgwick goes into the lead. Oh, and Ben Kriener hits the back of him, and then, oh, Jace just comes back down onto the racing line, and Freinsteiner's there. But that contact between Alex Sedgwick and Ben Kriener. Let's have a look at where the move happened before that. Alex is all over the back of him. Down the inside. Pries the door open. Gets it done. Good launch off the corner as well. Lights up the rear a little bit. Ben hits the wall. That's where he loses the speed. Goes to go in deep. Hits Alex. Alex does a great job to save it. And then Jace gets turned as he comes back on the racing line. Sean Hollenby's also had another issue here. This is during the safety car. He's got George Tolsma on his outside. Oh, he's just gone to slow it down and lost it. Oh, there's something very wrong there on that curb, isn't there? The car's got beached by the look of it. Sean having a bit of a nightmare this evening. But it's Alex Sedgwick then, back in the lead of this race, albeit with a modified rear end on that Mustang. And Aaron Smith is up to 3rd place, gaining 7 positions at the moment. I'll show you again on the left. But Antwerp Eels in 6th position, gaining 12 places. So what a start to this race Antwerp Eels has had. We're just getting up to a quarter of the way through. And it's nice and calm in the AWE Motorsport car. It's not often you're inside a car with Antwerp Eels and it's calm. It is very, very chill in here in the moment, isn't it? It's a nice, nice environment to be in as things stand. And while we're here, actually, what we'll do is we'll jump in and speak to Billy Fletcher. Billy, a few cautions so far, but no apparent damage on your car at the moment. How are you feeling with this one?
I'm feeling okay. Car feels good. Bit difficult to pass. Can't seem to really make anything happen. But yeah, no, we're trying our best, and as I said, we're trying to keep the car clean, and then we can get to the last 50 laps is when we're going to go for it, I think.
Yeah, I was just saying at the top of the broadcast, you know, the tyres tend to last about 60 laps before they drop off. Pit stops very soon, I imagine, but like you say, is it just a case of play it safe till near the end then?
Pretty much, mate. I just want to try and hang on to this sort of top 10 position till when it really matters at the end of the race.
Cracking. Sounds good, mate. We'll enjoy it and we'll speak to you again very soon.
Okay.
Billy Fletcher there in the Luxim 24 esports car. We're about to get underway again with Alex Cedric at the front, and he canes it sideways a little bit out of there. Brian Siner and Connor Mills side by side there as Aaron Smith slots in front. Nearly contact there, and now Billy Fletcher, who we just spoke to there, down the inside of Ant Wharton-Eales. As he said, it's difficult to overtake. It's just about figuring out where you can do it and when. Mark Murphy has figured out where and when to do it on Brian Siner, but he runs deep. He's obviously used to how quick the car goes around on the outside line, not the inside. Brian Siner kisses the wall, and Billy's going to take advantage of that. He says, yeah, go on then. Open that door for me, and through we will go, sunshine. The Swiss driver on the outside at the moment. He's fallen down a little bit so far in this race. He's lost 5 positions, and Billy's gained 10, actually. Billy is the biggest mover in the field. After Ant Wharton-Eales was displaced, Brian Siner and Wharton-Eales both get in the wall. Scott Jeffson, Justin Niger have crashed further down the order. They've had some sort of coming together. This is Niger on the outside. Scott Jeffs is in the purple car in front. He has contact with Jonathan Rex. And then Gil Linster. It looks like Scott Jeffs just turned down on him. Just as Jeffs comes back up, he gets into him. We'll have a quick look at what happened to Scott Jeffs from his incident. Yeah, I don't know, you know. Looks like Scott Jeffs he didn't leave the room. He was slightly out of the shot there. So we'll go back to it and have another look. Here we go. Yeah, he comes down and doesn't really give Gil Linster all the room in the world, and sort of faces the consequences, unfortunately. It's a shame to see for the Brax Racing driver. And we've got a flurry of cars apparently coming in the pit lane, but apparently not, because some of these guys are going that low down on the circuit that it's just not even counting that they're on the track. Like I say, I hope the stream looks good now. Figured out the internet issues, so we are nice and stable by the look of it. I hope it's good at your end as well, guys. Thank you for joining us this evening. We've got a lot of viewers across all our different channels. We're grateful for every single one of you. Thank you for joining us. And I hope you're all enjoying the show at the moment. I'm very, very pleased with this circuit at the moment. I've never raced it on iRacing, like I say. Never commentated on anything here before, and it's just awesome. It's become very easily my favourite NASCAR circuit. It's got the likes of Bristol to it, but because it's so flat in comparison to somewhere like Bristol, it's got that extra bit of danger about it. You know, the cars don't have the camber and the sort of bank of the corner to help them out. So we have to see the guys really squirrel it in on the brakes, get it completely squared up as soon as they can. We're at a quarter distance now of the race with Alex Sedgwick at the front. Chanty says, love your comments, Chaz, thank you very much, and I like comments like that as well. Very grateful. I love commentating on this stuff, it's really feisty. Alex and Mike Yao, Adam Owen, Rob Pearson of Luxim, we've all had such a laugh doing this, and everyone's been great to work with. The teamwork has been second to none. And don't forget, of course, in just a few weeks' time, 2 weeks from today, Season 2 will begin. And I have been announced as the commentator to do it again, so sorry, you've got to keep putting up with me. Safety car is going to pull off any moment now then. Oh, nearly contact there between Fletcher and Connor Mills. As there's a bit of start-stop action going on here. Alex is going up the track to make sure Ben's on the wide line. He saw Connor do that before and he launches it. Good start by Cedric. What can Aaron Smith do there in the big yellow Bumblebee down the inside of Connor Mills? Nearly gets out of shape, you know. Mark Murphy wants in on this as well. We'll look down the order, just see who's doing what. Any shenanigans down here? Here's George Tolsma, just been overtaken by Jack Mace. Jason Glenn is a lap down on the guys around him. Oh, Jeff Hooper's out wide. That's Adrian Burks in the middle. Zach Yardley, he's come up the circuit. He didn't know they were 3 wide. They're bouncing off each other. They managed to make it survive. Jonathan Rex just in front of Yardley now. That was very hairy stuff. I thought we were going to see an incident and another caution there. But no, the guys survive and continue on. Guillaume Hesno's got a good view of this battle here in front of him of Brian Crowles and Ant Wharton Eels down the inside. Aaron Smith there just at the bottom of his shot, getting passed by Marcel Freiensteiner. Aaron has dropped down a little bit, unfortunately, in the number 70. You can't miss that car, it's just bright yellow and I love it. Guillaume Hesno opening the door there on Brian Crowles just behind. Brian not making as much forward progress as I thought. Just behind there, James Harvey. Just ahead of Gil Linster. A lot of these cars have the modified aero on the rear end, i.e. damage. Here's your third place car, Connor Mills, championship leader. Just ahead of Mark Murphy. Mark's been doing well tonight, he's gained 7 positions. Mark was great to watch. Oh, Justin Niger and Jonathan Rex again. These boys have had a nightmare. Justin Niger has been involved in a few incidents this season. Oh, as Jason Glenn goes in. Oh, Jonathan just doesn't give him the room. Justin tries to avoid it and hits him. Jonathan, for me there, closed the door. It was a bit of a lunge from Jason, but you know, Jonathan just didn't seem aware of it, unfortunately, and closed the door on him, and around he goes. And we are under caution again. Ben Kriener is apparently in the lead of the race with Cedric further down now. We've missed that. Or I have anyway. Let's have a look at what happened here. Oh wow, Jonathan Rex reversing onto the circuit and Alex catches him. Not the best there from Jonathan Rex. I mean, the incident in the first place was a sort of squeeze. Alex comes around. Oh, Jonathan's just reversing straight into the circuit. He should have just towed the car back to the pit lane if he was having that much issue. Alex onto the pit lane then. Ben Kriener now becomes the race leader. Thank you for the comments, guys. Much appreciated. I really look forward to doing season 2 with these guys as well. Jonathan Rex has had another issue, or is this where he reversed? Oh no, under caution. What's he doing here? Oh, he's... Whoa, what's he done that for? Dangerous stuff this evening from Jonathan Rex. Just stop the car in the middle of the road. It's... the less probably I say on that, the better, but... Wow, fingers crossed it doesn't continue this evening. Alex now down in 20th position with that very, very damaged Vertex Mustang. He's got Jack Mace just behind him there. A very bright livery, despite his internet connection. Aaron Smith is in 18th as well. I think Aaron got caught up in the incident. He's also been in the pits, actually, as Aaron, so that'll be why. George Tolsma there, just going into the pit lane in the number 25. George Tolsma, Motorsports car. Get your words out, Chaz. Jeff Hooper's gained 10 places at the moment. Same for Yves Liddell in the grey and black car there. It's 13 places now for Ant Wharton Eels and for Billy Fletcher in 3rd. Billy said before in his interview he wanted to hold on to top 10 places, but he's doing an incredible job of that at the moment. We'll bring Alex in just to have a chat. Alex, that looked like it was quite a scary moment, mate. I think that would have caught anyone off guard, that one.
Just a little bit, yeah. You know, the one thing you probably don't expect to see when you're mid-corner is someone reversing out onto the track in front of you, which was, yeah, absolutely ideal. So, you know, we've got a bit of damage now. You know, the car's all right, and I'm saving my fast repair. So, you know, hopefully I can make my way through the pack and then recover. But, yeah, it's been a bit interesting so far.
Yeah, it certainly has. A few cautions here and there, incidents all about. But I'll leave you to it, mate, as the race gets back underway. Best of luck.
Thanks, man.
Alex Sedgwick there then gets back underway. Ben Kriener at the front of the field leads them away. Connor Mills and Billy Fletcher side by side. Oh, there's contact with Freinsteiner. He goes up into Guillaume Hesno. Guillaume gets out of it. Gil Linster wants to come through. James Harvey jumps down the inside. He thinks, yeah, go on then. 3 wide there. Lewis Corton as well. Zach Yardley involved. Lewis Corton's blinking in and out. Suddenly reappears in front of Gil Linster. Oh, there's contact and they're in the wall. Oh, Zach. I don't agree with the decision to keep his foot in. Oh, there's a bit of contact there as well between Lewis Corton, and I think that was Justin Niger that was coming through. And another caution is out once again. I don't really agree with Zach's decision to keep his foot in. Lewis just didn't know he was there, but you know, Zach pushes him all the way down the straight. I suppose it stopped Lewis's car going back down the hill, but yeah, it was Justin Niger that clipped him on the way through. But just some of these guys just getting a bit too feisty at the moment. Billy Fletcher's up to 2nd place. Amazing run so far. Antwerp Eels up 14 positions as well now into 4th. It's pretty amazing, to be fair. Pretty amazing. He's doing an incredible job. And well, we may as well have another chat with him, to be honest. Billy, it's suddenly got a lot better, hasn't it?
Yeah, just been the right place at the right time, mate. But not going to lie, I'm starting to get a little bit bored of these yellow flags.
Yeah, don't worry. It's a general consensus up here as well. Just a few silly manoeuvres and little incidents further down the order that just don't need to happen. But you know, on a track like this, we did sort of expect it. So it's a shame it's happened. But well, it's a Lux Sim 24 front row at the moment.
Yeah, it's well, to be honest with you, I'm hoping Ben might help me out a little bit, because if I have any chance of winning this championship, I do need to win. So I'm just slowly working my way to the front, and hopefully I might pinch a little bit of help off of him.
Well, we'll have to see, mate. Like you say, Ben isn't actually eligible for the championship, as you know. So if it's you against Connor Mills as well behind you and Brian Crowles, Brian is currently in 6th position at the moment. Connor, of course, just behind you. So it's going to be very close, but you know, you've got to be there at the flag, haven't you, to get the points?
That's it, mate. I'm just trying to keep it clean and tidy at the moment. I don't want to do anything silly. If people want to pass me, I'm going to let them pass, mate. It's all I want to be is there at the end of the race.
Well, cracking stuff, Billy. I hope it continues to go well for you, mate, and we'll probably speak to you at the end.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thank you.
So Billy having an amazing run so far. So too is Antwerp Eels. I'd love to drag Ant in for an interview, but he's not in the Discord server by the look of it. And I can't really call him and do that, because he'd have to take his eyes off the road, and we don't want to be doing that to these guys. Freinstein has had an interesting race so far. Started 2nd on the grid. He's down in 5th at the moment. I say down in 5th, you know, for the amount of contact and moves that he's had here and there. He's done a great job to keep it up there. He's head of the Toyotas at the moment. There's only one driver in the field that is currently where they started, and that is James Harvey in the Student Motorsport Toyota Camry in 8th position, number 40. Don't forget, these guys are the race sponsor this evening, which we are very grateful for. So we're hoping, and I'm certainly hoping, that James can get him a good result. It's been great to watch him this season. I've had a chat with him between some of the rounds. He's a really top guy. Very enthusiastic Twitch streamer as well. Streams all of his races. He'll be streaming this one as well. And we're back underway. Ben Kriener gets a good start, and Connor Mills has opened the door down the inside of Billy Fletcher, who goes a bit deep. And that means Freinstein is going to come through. Is Antwerp Eels going to try and open the door? No, he gets stuck down there with Guillaume Hesno. And Billy slots back in. He says, right, I need to get back on that inside line if I want to make any moves here. Guillaume Hesno is down the inside of Antwerp-Niels and keeps it nice and safe. Oh, that's not safe from Brian Crowell's contact there between the two of them. Scott Jeffs really has to check up and make sure he doesn't get involved in it. Look a bit further down. That is Yves Liddell going wide. Just behind him is Jeff Hooper and Lewis Corton side by side. Lewis struggling with damage, I think, after that earlier incident that he was involved in. Alex Sedgwick is into 15th position, just behind Jack Mace and Mark Murphy. Mark's going to be on fresh rubber now as well after his pit stop, so he's going to be hoping to make his way through. Just ahead of him as well, Aaron Smith, another one on fresh rubber. We're on lap 72. James Harvey coming under increasing pressure there from Gil Linster on the outside. Look at the run that Aaron is able to get off there. He's back into 10th place now, down the inside, putting the pressure on. So is Mark on Adrian. And Gil Linster's been hung out to dry there. Gil and Adrian really swapping places. Mark Murphy, look at the run that Aaron Smith gets around the outside now on James Harvey. He says, well, if I can't do it on the inside, that's what fresh rubber does. Look at it go. James is trying everything he can, but Aaron just sweeps around. Look at that. Amazing, and he takes a nice wide entrance into the corner, so he's going to get a great slingshot out. Adrian Burks is still not letting Gil Linster through. Jeff Hooper in the background defending from Jack Mace. Alex Sedgwick's just seen Aaron do that, and he thinks, I'm going to give that a go, but it's Mark Murphy in front, who is also on fresh rubber, so it's not going to be that easy for him. Oh, and down the inside, Mark makes contact with Gil Linster. I looked away for just a millisecond there to check something on the timing screen. Gil's now overheated his rears. Alex wants to go around the outside. He's going to do just that. Squeezes through to 12th. Nearly contact. Gil gets out of it. Alex smashes through. Aaron Smith, though, what a great run he's having at the moment. He's taking advantage of this earlier pit stop. Brian Crowell's there just weaving around the circuit in front. He's watching Antwerp-Niels have a go at Guillaume Hesno. Billy Fletcher's in 4th position, still just ahead of this group. But just keep your eye on that yellow car in the background of Aaron Smith. He's really, really going to be on a run. Oh, there's contact between Antwerp-Niels and Guillaume Hesno. Guillaume holds it. Great slide there by the Frenchman, but Ant moves up into 5th position. Awesome fight going on between these guys. Oh, there's a little bump there as well in return from Guillaume. He says, you do that to me, I'll do it to you. We'll go on board with Brian Crowell, as I'm sure everybody wants to be. Everyone loves Brian. Honestly, I've never seen such a sim racer in an event like this, unless they're already like a famous YouTuber or, you know, a real racing driver, gets such a following. The Brax Racing fans in the YouTube chat, especially on the Simply Race YouTube chat, have been amazing this season. And there's a whole nother season of it to go, and I've been told the Brax Racing lot will be there. Suddenly, boom, out of nowhere behind him, Aaron Smith in the bright yellow car. He's just there. He's ready to make moves. Antwerp-Niels goes down the inside of Billy Fletcher. Billy seemed to go a bit slow out of there by the look of it. I think he had a bit of an issue. Let's have a look. He's trying to make a move on Freiensteiner. There's contact. Oh, he gets into Freiensteiner and he lets him keep it on. Oh no, there's been contact. Aaron Smith and Billy Fletcher have dropped down the order. There's another caution. It was Billy Fletcher involved. This is what I mean. This is my curse. I look away and it happens. Billy goes in. Oh, Antwerp-Niels is slightly out of shape there. Taps Billy. Oh, and Aaron Smith straight into him, and Aaron gets hit as well. That was James Harvey involved as well. Jack Mace, Jeff Hooper, everybody running out of the way. Such a shame. Billy was having such an amazing race. It must be the curse of interviewing him as well. Antwerp-Niels were down the inside. It wasn't too late of a move either, but just as the car got out of shape, unfortunately, he couldn't do anything about going into the side of Billy's car. And that opens this up now for Connor Mills and Brian Crowell. James Harvey's actually managed to stay in 6th position despite that hit there, so he's doing a good job. Once these cars get slightly unsettled, it's very difficult to keep them in shape. Aaron Smith back in the pit lane. Guillaume Hesno in there with him. There's Lewis Corton just coming past. Guillaume lights it up. Gets on his way. As the magical pit box is appearing and disappearing again. But Brian Crowell is certainly one to watch here. He's just gone ahead of Ant Wharton-Eales, and I don't know whether Ant's been given a penalty for the contact, maybe? He's dropping down. These guys all seem to be knowledgeably going around him. He's diving into the pits now, is Ant Wharton-Eales. I'll drag in our race director, Mike Yao, and just see what the situation is. Mike, just noticed that Ant Wharton-Eales has pulled over and gone in the pits. Has he been given a penalty for the contact?
Yes, he has, because he went in a bit too hot into the corner. He's practically on the grass as he tried to overtake and then caused the contact and caused caution, sorry, and then pushed him around.
Fair play, fair play. Well, he's taking fresh rubber now, so I'm sure that we'll see him try and get back through the order again. How's the race from your point of view at the moment? I mean, we expected cautions here. Did you expect to have this many before lap 100?
I didn't expect this many before lap 20. It was an interesting an array of... I don't know, it's been an experience anyway. Race control has been ultimately busy. Unfortunately, one person got DQ'd. We just need to concentrate and keep them calm. It's like they've also got crash helmets on already.
Well, fingers crossed they bring the hard hats as well for afterwards. But I'll leave you to it, mate, as the race is going to get underway. Enjoy it. Race director Mike Yao there, doing his job from Simply Race. Oh, Ben Kriener tries to light it up, really slides around on the rear end. And that was Connor Mills getting out of it to make sure he doesn't go into the back of him. Jack Mace has gone way deep in there then. He just had to check up behind Alex Cedric, who nearly went into the back of Adrian Burks, who's appeared in third place. The order's really been shuffled up by the pit stops. Adrian Burks now into fourth at the expense of Brian Crowells. Is he? No, Brian's actually made it work. James Harvey there, sliding around all over the place. Jack Mace is in there with him on fresh rubber, I believe. But Jack's really gained a lot of places in the recent events of this race. Further down the order there, that was Aaron Smith. Just behind him is Billy Fletcher. He's got Guillaume Hesno and Jeff Hooper ahead, and Lewis Corton. So close between all of these guys. It's amazing racing, but Ben Kriener continues to be the race leader here over Connor Mills. Adrian Burks just behind. We had somebody disqualified, as you heard. I think that was Jonathan Rex for his earlier escapade. Now look at this, James Harvey's got an absolute field of cars behind him. Aaron Smith and Gil Linster are the bread of a Guillaume Hesno sandwich at the moment. Guillaume survives, Gil Linster loses a few places. That's Jeff Hooper just in front of Aaron there. Well, Aaron gets a bit of a kiss from Billy Fletcher behind. These guys have got to be so patient now as there's cars sliding around all over the place. Jeff Hooper and Gil Linster both sideways. Oh, and Jeff Hooper's gone in a bit deep. Hits the back of Guillaume Hesno. Mark Murphy's just gone past James Harvey at the front of this. And now he's got Freiensteiner down the inside. Nearly contact between the two of them. Jack Mace is in there as well. Guillaume Hesno sneaks up the inside of him. But some of the guys on fresh rubber need to be very cautious as they're chasing through the field. More contact there. James turns in. Guillaume Hesno's just sat on the apex. I don't think James gave him all the room in the world. Billy Fletcher sneaks down the inside of Jeff Hooper just inside. Aaron Smith's on the outside. Jeff goes in deep. James has gone slow through there. Jeff doesn't care. He still has the back of him. Billy Fletcher down the inside. Look at the amount of places gained there for Billy. That was a great run. Turns it down the inside. Oh, James turns in early again. He's gradually come across there and just kissed two cars in two corners. Aaron Smith is all over the shop trying to get past these boys. Oh, and he's had another hit from Jeff Hooper. There's not going to be anything left of the front of Jeff's car by the end of the race. Scott Jeffs is just trying to keep it under control. That was James Harvey getting another hit from Aaron Smith. So much contact here and there, but these guys are doing a great job not to get turned around. Brian Crowells is side by side with Freiensteiner, and Guillaume Hesno is on a mission at the moment. He's gaining so many positions. He's always on the inside of somebody trying to overtake him. Down the inside of Brian Crowells he goes, the 68 on the 48. We're nearly at the halfway point at the moment. And Ivan Bauman's asking for an update on lap times. The best lap of the race at the moment, I believe, is a 20.51 by Alex Sedgwick, who is now up into second place, just going past Connor Mills. Adrian Burke's trying to come through as well. The best lap by anyone around Alex is by Ben Kriener. It's a 20.59, 20.61 for Connor Mills. Nobody else. Jace Glenn actually a 20.56, but he's way, way down the order. And I believe out of the race is Jace Glenn. No, he's still going actually. He's 20th overall at the moment though. But he's done the third fastest lap of the race. As things stand, and Alex Sedgwick now wants to make up for the strange incident that occurred earlier, and he wants to get past Ben Kriener. Just behind though, Adrian Burks has got this amazing battle. Freinsteiner has been very, very fun to watch. Look at Billy Fletcher trying to put the pressure on behind Guillaume Hesno. We've got the 58, the 68 and the 88. Connor Mills looks like he's really struggling at the moment. I think he's tried to make these tyres last. We're on lap 97 at the moment, and yeah, Connor hasn't been in the pits, neither has Brian Crowles, and these boys are struggling now. Ben Kriener also, though, to be fair to him, hasn't been in the pits, and now he's starting a bit of a train of cars as things stand. Sedgwick looks to the inside, doesn't do anything there. Guillaume Hesno went a bit deep. He was looking on Freinsteiner. So much battling going wrong before now, but these guys are starting to get it under control. Adrian Burke's giving Mark Murphy minimal room. Sedgwick and Kriener make contact, and Sedgwick's really slow out there, and Mark Murphy to the inside. Is Burke's going to realise he's there? Oh, look at Guillaume Hesno down the inside, through the middle. Guillaume Hesno, brilliant stuff. And he's going to go up to fourth place because of that. Freinsteiner, does he go back down the inside? No, there's contact between Fletcher and Freinsteiner. Marcel's going flying down the order. He managed to completely spin, but lap 100 sees the caution come out. Let's have a look at all the mess that was going on here. I think there was something going on between Ben Kriener and Alex Sedgwick just before that. Just before it. Let's have a quick check. So Ben Kriener and Alex Sedgwick. Ben gets very sideways. The car's out of shape, saves it. A little bit of contact. And just behind, Fletcher and Hesno side by side. There's contact in front. Hesno sticks it down the middle. Freinsteiner is still in the middle. Goes to the inside. I don't think Billy Fletcher was expecting that. And then there's the contact. And around he goes. Adrian Burks gets a big hit from Jack Mace there as well. And we see another caution. But that was an amazing move down the middle by Guillaume Hesno, and he's now second place, just behind Mark Murphy. So many cars in the pit lane. Brian Crowles, Aaron Smith, Billy Fletcher, James Harvey there just coming in as well. Alex Sedgwick, Ben Kriener, Connor Mills, Jeff Hooper, Justin Niger. Lots of guys in the pits. Top 5 at the moment then: Mark Murphy from Guillaume Hesno, Scott Jeffs, Lewis Corton back up there, Jack Mace. Jack's been very good this race actually. He's been in a few little incidents here and there. That's Ant Waterneal's going around the outside to make up a lap. Yeah, Jack's been standing out in that blue livery and doing a good job. Jason Glenn is actually still a lap down despite being up there. I think he's just been given a wave around as well. Yeah, round he goes. I hope you all put bets on how many cautions we'd get over the course of the race. We knew they were coming though. Trust me, we knew. But fresh rubber, yeah, Ivan is correct. Ivan Bauman says, nice. Fresh rubber. That's what they want. Freinsteiner and George Tolsman are just coming in the pits there, the two Toyota Camrys. Freinsteiner's cars had contact from all over the place. Interestingly enough, Sedgwick is now ahead of Ben Kriener in the standings. Well, in the race. And then Billy Fletcher is just behind them. Neil Ives there, just blinking in and out a little bit in the Ram Racing car. He's slowing down and trying to let some of the field through. Yves Liddell is the car just behind him. Here's Brian Crowles, 11th place at the moment, 2 positions gained from his starting place. Scott Jeffs has actually gained 16 positions so far in this race. He's having a great run. What we'll do, actually, we will drag Jack in for a quick word. Jack, welcome to the commentary box, mate. It seems to be going quite well in the long run for you at the moment, getting to 5th. How are you finding it?
Pretty good, thank you. Am I alright to get back to you in a minute? We're going green now.
Yeah, not a problem at all. No worries. Jack Mace there, the young man himself, getting on with the job. Poor timing by me on an interview, isn't it, that? Oh, Hesno, Scott Jeffs, what was Scott doing there? Just sends it down the inside, and Jack's gone into Scott, and there is the big one. We're not quite at Daytona, but there is the big one. Billy Fletcher's had contact in the middle. Oh, and James Harvey gets hit there as well. We haven't even got a caution for that, you know. Adrian Burke's lost out massively. What happened here? Oh, he gets hit by Jeff Hooper. Yeah, it was Adrian and James Harvey. James tried to come back up the track, and Adrian stops. Oh, the boys behind do a great job at avoiding him. That was such a shame. It was Scott Jeffs just completely went flying down the inside. I'll have a quick look at what happened to Scott Jeffs. I can't even see him on my timing screen. Oh, Guillaume Hesno and Gil Linster ended up in the wall on the outside. They came back on, so they didn't spin from that. And then just the melee afterwards was just chaotic. Well, Mark Murphy leads this race then. Lewis Corton second, Ben Kriener and Connor Mills are making their way through on fresh rubber now. We know Ben's very feisty, but he needs to be patient around here. It's been said he's been doing a lot of pushing and shoving this season. And hopefully we're not going to see more of it now. Look at Connor Mills hanging the back end of that car out now. Ben goes down the inside of Lewis Corton. Lewis, oh, I think he just came down a little bit there. He loses out now, and Connor Mills is going to go through. Aaron Smith wants a piece of this as well. Alex Sedgwick isn't too far behind. A little bit out of shape there was Lewis Corton. Managed to keep it under control. They were on lap 111. Sedgwick there in 6th position. Oh, there's the change for the lead at the top of your shot. Ben Kriener using that fresh rubber to his advantage down the inside of the Turn 4 Motorsport car of Mark Murphy. And Connor Mills follows him through and says, yep, if we're going to do that, we may as well get on with it now. And Smith now up to 3rd place. Just behind though, Sedgwick still trying to find a way past Corton. And Brian Crowles is on the back of this as well. We'll go on board with Brian for a second. See what it looks like from here. Very close to the wall on the right hand side. You've got to open up the left-hander as much as you can. Mark Murphy struggling a little bit in front there. You can see him go deep. Not sure whether he recovered it, but look at the run Brian's got now. The patience around here knows no bounds, honestly. And well, look at that. I'm not sure whether this is part of the damage that Alex has got that's making him struggle, but Brian Crowles makes that look pretty easy. Billy Fletcher just behind there as well, 8 places gained. Jeff Hooper at the front of this sort of second train at the moment. I'll show you the track map. You can just see 18th and 22nd place. That's George Tolsma and Yves Liddell, separate to the rest of the pack, but it's starting to split at the moment. Connor Mills and Aaron Smith very close together at the front of the field. There's a big gap back here to Mark Murphy with Lewis Corton and Brian Crowles, then Billy Fletcher and Alex Sedgwick behind him. Billy Fletcher did get past Alex. Let's have a look at how that happened. So it was just after Brian had made the move, actually. Alex goes in a bit deep there, and Billy just sees the door open. And through he goes. Very well done. Lap 117 of 200. Lap 118 of 200 here at Martinsville for Ben Kriener. Race leader, that's Yves Liddell just in front of him. Hopefully we'll see Yves get out of the way and make this easy for Ben. Well, Ben's late on the brakes and you can see that he's really pushing there. He doesn't need to push too hard to try and get through. Connor Mills is really closed up. Aaron Smith doesn't have all the space in the room to go into. Yves Liddell kissing the wall there to try and get out of the way. That's commitment. A bit further down. Jeff Hooper is right on the back of Guillaume Hesno. Contact. We've seen Jeff go into the back of a few people tonight. Guillaume Hesno gets added to the list, unfortunately. Oh, Justin Niger has just been overtaken by Gil Linster as well. Billy Fletcher has got ahead of Brian Crowles. The inside now as well. Don't go 3 wide, boys. Look at that. Mark Murphy really trying to get that car lit up. Try and get it under control. Which wasn't happening for him there. We'll have to have a look at where this happened. Let's have a look then. So Billy goes down the inside. Oh, he just a little bit out of shape. He just taps Brian Crowell's car. Mark does a great job to keep it together though. Oh, I say that though, and in the background that was Brian Crowell's going into the wall. Jeff Hooper just about avoids. No caution, great control by Brian, but let's just have a quick check back. Sorry about this. Oh, he just goes up and Yves Liddell is still there. Very well done to keep it pointing the right way in the end, but surely that car's going to be damaged. Here's Ant Walton Eels just ahead of Jack Mason, Scott Jeffs. And of course, British Touring Car Championship driver. Oh, it's getting a bit feisty behind these. That's Gil Linster, Justin Niger and Adrian Burks. Ben Kriener's in the pits. Oh, he's not in the pits as he wanted to be though. He's in the wall. Ben Kriener into the wall. What happens here? Let's have a look. So Connor Mills goes down the inside. Ben goes in a bit deep. Connor tries to put it down the inside. Oh, Ben just gets one tap and then another, and then Aaron Smith is involved as well. But Ben ends up in the wall and we've got a caution. Doesn't look like there was any other incident, but that's a real shame for Ben. He won't be happy with that one. Mark Murphy comes in the pit lane. Looks like he's going to be one of the only ones actually. Guillaume Hesno jumps in, so we've got the 58 and the 68. George Tolsma apparently was going in there, but no. He stays out in 18th place at the moment. Neil Ives just ahead of him on track is actually a lap down in 21st. It's just in Niger in 16th as the field pretty much stops there. Brian Crowles is letting everybody go. And Aaron Smith is your new race leader, everybody. Billy Fletcher back up to 3rd there. He's gained 13 places. Jeff Hooper is into 6th place, gaining 16 positions. Starting 22nd on the grid. Mark Murphy is now down in 16th place, but he's going to be on fresh rubber now. He's going to have some brand new tyres to try and light up and get through the field. He's got George Tolsma just ahead of him there in the 25. Connor Mills, though, in terms of the championship, this is everything he needs at the moment. He's ahead of Billy Fletcher, he's ahead of Brian Crowles by quite a lot. So for Connor to win the championship, it's going to be pretty easy if he keeps it this way, but we've seen that incidents can happen anywhere on track at the moment. George Tolsma's just come in the pit lane. He's getting tyres now. Brian Crowles is just there with Freinsteiner. There's another one that's dropped down. Oh, what's happened there? Gil Linster just drives through Freinsteiner. Oh, and I think... Now, I've seen this issue before, and I think that Gil Linster has got some sort of connection issue here. I've seen this before on iRacing, and oh, no, 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 no. I can explain this one. And what happens is, we had this under a safety car period once in the World GT Championship, where somebody's internet fails one way but not the other. So their internet is still uploading data. It's still telling people where their car is, what it's doing, but it's not downloading data from everyone else. So it doesn't know where the other cars are. It doesn't know what everyone else is doing. And of course, he's hitting them, but he doesn't even know it. He's got no cars on his screen. And that's such a shame, and the safety car is back out again. It glitches through the wall, albeit there's a bit of a technical issue going on with that, but that was such a shame. Horrible moment for Aaron Smith. You'll see Gil Linster just comes round, none the wiser. On his screen there will have been no cars. He hits Jeff Hooper, he hits Alex Sedgwick, and he hits Aaron Smith. It's horrid times in terms of technical issues. You know, it happens. There's nothing that Gil Linster could have done. I mean, we've had it before, like I say. There was a funny YouTube video made out of it. We're back underway. Billy Fletcher then is now in the lead of the race. No, the caution's been called out again. What's going on here? So just to go over it again then, basically on board with Gil Linster's car. I'll show you. So from Gil Linster's point of view, he would have had no cars on track. He would have had no cars anywhere, because if his internet isn't sending him any data from where everyone else is on track, luckily sometimes it can glitch out like that and it doesn't completely take them out. He wouldn't have known that he was doing this. I can tell you that. He wouldn't have known. Because at his end, obviously his car would have spun out as well. But on his screen he wouldn't have had any other cars on track. He would have just been trying to catch up to the rest of the field, and it is connection based, I'm afraid. Everyone else can see him, but he can't see them, and then, rightly so, kicked from the session due to that issue. It's not what we wanted to see, and Aaron Smith is back into second place. Whether he's going to re-inherit the lead from Billy Fletcher, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's not ideal in any stretch of the imagination. I think Neil Ives got caught up in that as well, actually. Let's have a look. Apparently Neil Ives got caught up in something. Oh, it's just because the car stopped. When the cars go under a certain speed, it basically tells me that there's been an incident, or they've had an accident of some sort. But no, Pete Petch commenting in the YouTube chat. That's not netcode, my friend. Netcode is when two cars are together and seemingly a few feet apart, and the system tells them that they've made contact, or tells one of them that they've made contact anyway. That just means that he wouldn't have been receiving any data, it wouldn't have been downloading any data from the server or from the session, but it would have still been uploading information, so telling everyone still where his car is, but unable to see everyone else's cars. It's a proper shame. And Gil's been amazing to watch this season as well. He's been one of the highlights for me. He's been a great racer. But fingers crossed we can get things back to normal. And Billy Fletcher is going to lead the field from Aaron Smith. Lights on the safety car still on, so we've got another lap behind the pace car. Yeah, Neil Ives does blink in and out a little bit, doesn't he, on here. Not sure if he's got a connection issue as well. Here's a lap down, so he's letting these guys go. Lewis Corton's managed to get back up to 4th place here. He's doing a great job. Ah, Guillaume. So sorry, man. Such a shame. Hesno joins us in the chat. Clap emojis for Guillaume Hesno, everybody. He's been brilliant to watch this season. Please do show the appreciation. It's been awesome to watch you, mate. Fingers crossed we see you in Season 2. Connor Mills there, just hanging down to the inside. Not sure whether he's going to go in the pits or whether he's been given a back of line penalty or something. Here we go though. Billy Fletcher then leads them away. Aaron Smith second, Lewis Corton third, Ben Kriener in 4th. Watch out for him and Alex Sedgwick trying to come through. Oh, well. That is, I believe, Guillaume Hesno trying to get out of the way. It is, yeah. That is Guillaume Hesno. He's now actually amongst the leaders again, but he's a lap down at the moment. Ben Kriener gets past Lewis Corton because of that. Lewis Corton getting held up slightly there. Alex Cedric really piling on the pressure now to try and come through. So close to the back of Ben Kriener. James Harvey's back up to 6th place despite that incident earlier. He's doing a great job. Same with Ant Wharton-Eales. They've both gained, Ant's gained 11 places, so has Scott Jeffs. Our race leader, Billy Fletcher, has gained 15 positions. He's on an absolute mission. Here's the battles a little bit further down. Brian Siner is 12th at the moment, just ahead of Jeff Hooper, behind Connor Mills. But Guillaume Hesno, for everyone commenting, replying to him, he is back out on track, so we won't be getting a response anytime soon. And he's on fresh rubber, so it looks like he's going to be on the pace with these guys. He probably won't want to disturb their race too much. He'll just want to sit in the right place at the right time. And just keep making sure that he is on the pace. There's Scott Jeffs with Brian Siner down the inside. Lap 142 of 200. Jeff Hooper goes to look down the inside there, gets out of it on Scott Jeffs. Scott runs a bit deep. Oh, Jeff gets into him. Oh, and again. Oh, Jeff Hooper. He's been a bit of a battering ram tonight, is Jeff, with that car. The E30 Motorsports car. And again, giving Neil Ives a bit of a hit there as well. Like I said before, I'll be surprised if there's anything left of the front of it by the end of the race. Tries to get the run again down the inside of Neil Ives. Neil blinking in and out of it. Goes late on the brakes, but gets it stopped. Back near the front, side by side, James Harvey and Lewis Corton. The number 54 against the number 40. The Student Motorsport machine in its beautiful camo livery down the inside. Gets on the brakes a bit early. Corton's gone in way deep there. The back end tries to step out. He loses momentum, but James has to compromise his line and come down low. Still side by side, and that's one of the best things about these sorts of races. The drivers spend so long side by side with each other. Oh, Lewis goes in deep again. The back end does break away, but he's making it work getting it into there. I tell you, he's really launching it in. Mark Murphy trying to take advantage there as well behind this battle. Just had a piece of wood fall on my feet from under my desk. That wasn't pleasant. Mark Murphy, though, thinks that it is pleasant to go down the inside of Lewis Corton. Hits the back of James Harvey. Ant Wharton-Eales muscling his way through down the inside. Get out of my way, he says. Lewis Corton gives him what he takes. And now Connor Mills shoves it down the inside as well. That was touring car racing there for Ant Wharton-Eales. We call that a Braille pass in the business. Ivan Bauman saying Neil Ives could ask for a job at a lighthouse. I'm not quite sure I get the reference, but it's got some laughs in the chat, so hopefully someone will explain that to me. I'm sorry if that's gone over my head. I should probably get that as a commentator, but unfortunately not. Oh, Brian Siner making himself very acquainted with the wall there, unfortunately. Scrapes down the left-hand side, sorry, the right-hand side of the car. There you go, I don't even know me right from left. Here's Jack Mace just behind Scott Jeffs, Gil Linster just behind him as well. But that's not for position. Gil has reconnected. And hopefully we don't see the same issue again, but that was a bit of a nightmare there. I will go and defend him in the race control chat later if there is any issues. Because I've seen it before. I've been on the receiving end of it before, actually. Ah, I see Ivan, that's fair enough. Yeah, I get that one now. Jack Mace just trying to get it around the outside there of Scott Jeffs, side by side. The Brax racing car not really able to do much about it. Jack doing a good job to get the car around. Oh, Gil Linster trying to get the cutback. That's also going to work. And Scott Jeffs losing 2 places in 1 lap. Billy Fletcher's got a 1 second lead at the moment. That isn't for position. That's just Guillaume Hesno behind him, putting the pressure on and showing him what the pace should be at the front. Aaron Smith there in the yellow car is in second. Ben Kriener is in third in the Lux Sim 24 esports car. We've had a great race at the moment though, it's been so entertaining. I know there's been a lot of cautions, but we knew they'd happen around here. Back to the blimp camera just to show you this group. So you've got Connor Mills at the front, then you've got James Harvey, Antwort Niels, Lewis Corton, Brian Crowles, Marcel Freinsteiner. Jack Mace is a bit further back, off the back of this one. This is Antwort Niels with Corton just on his left corner. So close. You can just see how they all concertina are up. That's Jeff Hooper on the back of Freinsteiner at the back. Jeff trying to find a way through. Jeff's actually a lap down on these boys, so he doesn't really need to be fighting them, but he's still going for it. I'm not sure what the etiquette is in oval racing with this sort of thing, but in road racing you wouldn't really be trying to stick it down the inside of someone who's a lap ahead of you. But Jeff doesn't seem to care, he's going for it. Freinsteiner again making friends with that wall. That Camry's going to be about 3 feet thinner by the time the race is over. His race leader Billy Fletcher, he's let Guillaume Hesno go. He says, I'm not going to bother fighting him, I'm just going to let him carry on and do his own thing. But Billy is doing a fine job at the moment, to be honest with you. He's had a bit of an up and down race, but he's getting the job done. Oh, there's contact in front. There's smoke and cars. Scott Jeffs and Neil Ives. It's always these two in one way or another. What happens here? Oh, Neil just goes in way too hot. Hits Scott. The two of them locked together, the front left and the front right. And then out of shape behind them there. Who was that? Was that? No, Sean Hollenby wasn't in the race. Oh, that was Yves Liddell. Had a bit of a moment just behind. Let's have a look here what happened. He's got Justin Niger and Guillaume Hesno behind him. So the contact is just happening in front now. Oh, Guillaume just gets into the back of him a little bit. Puts him on the grass. We haven't had a caution from it though, so the race still going on. Ben Kriener has got Mark Murphy right behind him again. Oh, Aaron Smith nearly drops it on the brakes there. Brian Crowles is on the grass on the inside. Brian's had an issue. He was in this epic battle. I really hope that Jeff Hooper hasn't sent it down the inside here. Oh, he does. Wow, that's a big hit for Jeff. Jeff hits Brian into Lewis. And as I said before, I'm not sure on if it's a different etiquette in oval racing, but Jeff shouldn't really be racing them that aggressively when he's a lap down. Just at the top of his shot there. Mark Murphy is now making moves on Aaron Smith for second place with Ben Kriener just behind. Ben puts the car on that inside line. He's all over the place on the brakes, is Ben. Not sure how loosely he's got that car set up, but it doesn't look comfortable at all. Well, Mark Murphy is really on a flyer at the moment, isn't he? He's starting to really move forward towards Billy Fletcher. The gap is just over a second at the moment. I don't think it's going to stay that way for all that long. He's actually now brought it down to 9/10, so he's gaining about a tenth every corner at the moment, is Mark Murphy. It's now 0.8 of a second. And Billy's gone really low down there, actually. Not sure whether he just had some sort of issue with Scott Jeffs. Let's have a look. This was from the lap previous. Just see whether anything happened. I'll keep my eye on it. Mark Murphy is right with him at the moment, I can tell you that. So Scott Jeffs is behind Billy Fletcher at that point. The battle for the lead hasn't changed. Adrian Burks and Jeff Hooper. Oh, Adrian Burks has crashed. Jeff Hooper involved as well, I believe. Oh, Billy just lit it up on his own. There is the final word on that. Jeff Hooper and Adrian Burks just had issues. Oh, there it is. It's already happened before that. Let's have a look. So, just in front, Adrian Burks. Oh, it's actually Adrian. Adrian goes in a bit deep there. Jeff Hooper blinks in and out a bit. And then on the exit, they're still together. Oh, Adrian just gradually moves up the circuit. And the two of them make more contact and bring out a caution. It's another unnecessary one. And the leaders are in. Billy Fletcher into the pit lane now. It's been a bit of a crazy one at the moment. So this is your race leader, or he was before they came into the pits. Billy Fletcher. Waiting for the tyres to go on. And he's side by side with Mark Murphy as they come out of their slots. And Mark Murphy wins the race off pit road. George Tolsma is at the front of the field now in the number 25. Mark Murphy is going to rejoin in second place. Billy Fletcher and Ben Kriener just behind. Apparently, not sure what's happened to Billy there. Well, he's letting some of these guys go. Not sure whether he's been speeding in the pit lane or something. But your new race leader then, George Tolsma for George Tolsma Motorsports. Let's see how he gets on. He's got Jason Glenn just in front of him there, who is a lap down. Just behind him on track is Scott Jeffs, who is also a lap down. And Scott Jeffs has clearly been given the signal to slow it down and let everybody through. There goes Alex Sedgwick. We haven't seen much from Alex in the latter stages of this race. He's in 5th position though, just ahead of Connor Mills. I think as things stand though, Connor is still on track to win the championship. So you all keep your eye on the pink number 7 on the left hand side of your screen, and I'll do the same. We can all keep our eye on it together, shall we? So there's Mark Murphy for Turn 4 Motorsport, the number 58 car. Second place at the moment. Student Motorsport, our race sponsor, commenting in the chat that James is now on new tyres and in P7. So here we go then. George Tolsma at the end of this lap will lead the field away to start lap 172 of 200 here at the Martinsville 200, presented by Student Motorsport in the Vertex Stock Car Cup. George waits and waits and waits, gets going. A little bit squirrely there. Ben Kriener looks down the inside very aggressively. There's contact. George saves it. He makes contact with Mark Murphy as well. Ben is just a bit over aggressive in my opinion there. He doesn't need to send it straight away. It's just going to cause more accidents. And George is going very, very slowly. Not sure whether he's had some sort of issue, but he's holding all these guys up there. What's he doing? He's really dropped down. Not sure what the issue is, but Mark Murphy leads the race from Aaron Smith. Ben Kriener's gone sideways. Oh, there's more cars involved. James Harvey, Scott Jeffs, Antwater Eels. Oh, it's all kicked off there. And George Tolsma comes back through and avoids it all. But what happened with George Tolsma there? Because he just... there was contact there. He made slight contact with Mark Murphy. Ben gave him a little tap, but then it's just like George just gets out of the way, and I'm not sure if he's... I mean, they're all 3 wide around there. It could have caused an incident, but I'm not quite sure what his strategy was. Let's have a look. Mark Murphy then. Oh, Ben Kriener gets into the back of Aaron Smith and does it himself. He then spins. Oh, there's already contact with James Harvey and Antwater Eels. Let's have a look at this. So that's as George has got out of the way. Jack Mace is in there. Oh, Antwerp Niels goes in way too hot, hits James Harvey, goes around. Scott Jeffson into the back of Ant, and then into the stationary Ben Greener. Oh, and Antwerp Niels as well goes back up the track and smacks into Brian Steiner, sorry. Crazy, crazy stuff. And yeah, they are saying in chat, Ben is usually aggressive, and it seems that way. He certainly pushes hard. But Mark Murphy is still your race leader here with Aaron Smith alongside. Connor Mills and Alex Sedgwick make up a very fierce row 2. And we've got Lewis Corton and Jack Mace on row 3. And I know that Mike Yao, our race director, will be very, very busy at the moment. Going to be handing out penalties all over the shop. And what we'll do, actually, we'll bring him back in for another chat. Jack, good to have you back, mate. Sorry about before. We didn't realise quite how close we were to going back to green. How are you finding this now? I mean, there's more and more cautions each time. Is it getting frustrating, or is it just in the long run a bit better because it helps you go forward?
It's getting a bit frustrating because it seems like I'm involved in just about every single one. So, I mean, I've got a little bit of damage here and there. I've already used my fast repair before lap 50. So, I mean...
It's just a case of trying to manage it to the end now, is it?
Pretty much. These 200 laps, so far what we've done so far at least, has flown by as much as 200 laps goes. I don't know how many we've done under green, but one to green now.
About 6 under green, I think, so far, isn't it? Not too many, but... Best of luck for the rest of it, Jack. One more lap then, and we'll see you at the end.
10-4, thank you.
A 10-4 as well from Jack Mace. 10-4, everybody in chat. Can I get a copy? Love that. A proper 10-4 there. And here we go. Mark Murphy then, your race leader, with Aaron Smith alongside. He's gone up high to make sure. Look at that launch from Mark Murphy. Really gets on it. Connor Mills wants to go with him down the inside. He's got Alex Sedgwick to his outside. Jack Mace goes a little bit deep into turn 1 there. Lewis Corton's going to go through, so too is Billy Fletcher. Brian Sauer's in there as well. Sorry, Brian Steiner. James Harvey down the inside of him. And around the outside goes Guillaume Hesno. That's a true send by the Frenchman around the outside. 3 wide. And Hesno is a lap down. He gets into the side of Brian Steiner. Wouldn't be too happy with that if I was Marcel. Again, I may not be clued up on the etiquette of these sorts of races, but Aaron Smith, he doesn't care about etiquette right now. He just cares about trying to get the race win. We've got 20 laps after this one then. And everybody is trying everything they can to claw their way back to the front. Alex Sedgwick somehow has managed to get back to the front again. He has been the star of the show this season, and it's not fixed, I promise you. Connor Mills sat in 4th place, is on his way to a championship. He needs to just stay out of trouble. And he can probably smell trouble brewing in front here as Sedgwick goes down the inside of Mark Murphy for 2nd place. Connor was a little bit wide in there with Lewis Corton that close to the back of him. Oh, just behind. Billy Fletcher looking down the inside. Lewis Corton sends the cone flying into the back of Connor Mills' car. Luckily that's not going to do any damage, but he fires projectiles. Lewis Corton not too happy, but Billy Fletcher puts the pressure on, makes the move and goes through. There's James Harvey in the middle. Brian Steiner. I still can't say his name right after this longer race. Brian Crowell's going through there, but he also is a lap down, unfortunately. He's in 13th place now. He just gets onto the lead lap. This is Jack then, who we just interviewed for a moment there, with Lewis Corton just in front. James Harvey under pressure from Guillaume Hesno just behind him. Now Lewis Corton's got shattered tyres, and he needs to come in and change them. Aaron Smith leads the way. Whoa, Connor Mills sideways in the background there. But Aaron Smith and the big yellow bumblebee, that I'm a huge fan of, is leading this race. Alex Sedgwick behind, just trying to put him under a bit of pressure. And James Harvey has Hesno all over the back of him. I hope that Guillaume is patient enough, knowing that he's a bit quicker at the moment, to just play it safe. Billy Fletcher there putting a move on our championship leader, I should say. If I get my words the right way round, I might be considered a good commentator. Through goes Billy Fletcher then into 4th place. Connor doesn't worry about that too much because he would still win the championship as things stand. Don't forget that Connor has a 12-point gap over Brian Crowles, and he has a 27-point gap over Billy Fletcher, and there's only 1 point per position it drops down by, so you get 43 for 1st place, and then it drops down all the way to the back of the field. So Connor's not got too much to worry about there. He's got Jack Mace behind him, and then James Harvey still has Hesno and Crowles, who are both a lap down on him, putting the pressure on. So hopefully it's not too much of a distraction. He's 7th at the moment, doing a fine job for Student Motorsport. Looks like he's trying to get a little bit of a gap on Guillaume Hesno there. Alex Cedric has really caught up with Aaron Smith now, and the chase is most certainly on between these pair. Bit of damage on the right hand side of Aaron Smith's car. I'm not sure where Alex is. Got completely repaired damage on his car, so we'll have to ask him at the end. 10 laps to go here at Martinsville, in the Martinsville 200 presented by Student Motorsport. I am your host, Chaz Draycott, and I will be for the 2nd season as well. And this is the Vertex Stock Car Cup, where anything can happen, and it certainly already has in this race. We've had everything, and these two are the closest cars on track right now. Alex looks to the inside. The number 9 Vertex Esports car looking very aggressive. He's been so quick all season as Alex. We call him our resident American. He is British, but he's our resident American. Just putting the pressure on as best he can. Oh, James Harvey's had an issue. I hope he did not have help from Guillaume Hesno, otherwise Guillaume's going to get a smack on the wrists. Let's have a look. He does. He's going to get help there, isn't he? Yep, a little bit of a tap. There was a tiny overlap. Does a good job to save it. Well, unfortunately, he's down to 9th place now behind Antwort Niels and Freinsteiner. Closest 2 cars on track are actually George Tolsma and Justin Niger. Everyone's hoping for a stroke of luck for Brian as well. 12th place at the moment. He's 10 seconds behind this guy, George Tolsma, who we're looking at now. Gap for the lead keeps getting bigger and then smaller again between Cedric and Aaron Smith. 5 laps to go. Cedric looks down the inside though, very commanding move, and he's going to get it done. Really well done from Alex Cedric. Not sure what the tyre situation is with the pair of them, but it certainly looks like his car is behaving a lot more than Aaron's at the moment. Mark Murphy just behind them there in 3rd. Billy Fletcher has gained 12 places to be in 4th. Justin Niger has actually gained 16 positions now. We've gone up into 10th place for Stage 1 racing. He's just put Scott Jeffs a little bit wide. He's now got George Tolsma on his inside. Oh, George, wow. Really weaves out there. Gives Justin a bit of a hit in the rear. And that was a big moment there for George Tolsma. Oh, I think they actually did make contact there. I thought that George just went down to avoid him, but no, they did definitely make contact. Antwort Niels and Jack Mace swapping places there. Antwort Niels going through. Jason Glenn unlapping himself on Jack there. Not sure what's happened to Jack's car. He's got a very poor run. He's staying around the outside. What's happened? Oh, he's out of fuel. Jack's run out of fuel. That's a real shame. With 1 more lap to go after this then. Alex Cedric leads the way. Aaron Smith is 2nd. Mark Murphy 3rd. Billy Fletcher in 4th. And Connor Mills, very importantly, is in 5th position at the moment. So it's about 20 seconds a lap here, and Alex Cedric puts us on to the last of those laps. I want you to all get your clap emojis ready, because it won't be long before this race and this season is done with, but it's going to be another incredibly impressive victory for Alex Sedgwick of Vertex Esports. Does an amazing job. Clap emojis, please. Aaron Smith second, Mark Murphy third, Billy Fletcher fourth, and your champion, everybody, Connor Mills of Mills Motorsport, without taking a win this season, takes the championship. Amazing effort by Connor. He'll be very pleased with that. Antwort Niels finishes 7th overall. Ben Carina still sending it into people at the end of the race. But amazing stuff there by Connor Mills. Controls the race, does everything he needs to, and in doing so, takes the championship. Bit of drifting as well to showboat at the end, and very deservedly so. And I'm sure that we're going to see, well, him and Alex again doing their donuts and their burnouts. Love it. Absolutely love it. The two of them come together even. See if we can get a better camera angle of that. No, I quite like this one, to be honest. They're going to, I think, maybe push each other. No, they're going to go up against the wall or something. No, they're just going to continue to light it up. Amazing. Amazing stuff by the pair of them. Very, very pleased for them. But Connor Mills is your champion as they make even more contact. Here are your race results then. Alex Sedgwick takes another win this season. He's done an amazing job, not just at organising the championship, but racing in it as well. It's been great to watch. Aaron Smith takes a very, very deserved second place. He's been a real joy to watch this season. Same as Mark Murphy, getting a podium there for Turn 4 Motorsport. Billy Fletcher, 4th place in the end. He'll be pleased with that result, especially against the quality of the field that he's been racing with. Connor Mills, your new champion, in 5th place. Marcel Freiensteiner, I'll say his name right one day. He finishes in 6th place, just ahead of Antwort Niels, and James Harvey gets 8th for Student Motorsport. Considering the damage he had, that's a good result. George Solsma, last car in the lead lap, in 9th place. Good result for him, he'll be pleased with that one. Justin Niger rounds out your top 10. Brian Crowell's 11th. It was a race of what could have been for Brian, really, with Lewis Corton in 12th and Ben Carina in 13th. Jack Mace finishes 14th after running out of fuel, unfortunately, at the end there. Jeff Hooper is classified 15th, just ahead of Jason Glenn, Scott Jeffs, and Adrian Burks, who also had a very eventful race. Then we have Gil Linster, Neil Ives rounds out your top 20, Guillaume Hesno and Yves Liddell 21st and 22nd. Jonathan Rex is 23rd, with Alistair Topley 24th, Sean Hollenby, Adam Morgan and Zach Yardley, of course, not finishing the race either. And Michael Yao, our race director, actually makes it onto the board as well. But well, what an incredible end to the season. And really, there's only one person that we can start off by speaking to. Our new champion, Connor Mills, joins me in the box. Connor, you must be over the moon with that, mate. Very well done.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to do the maths in my head now, so I'm guessing you've done them, and I'm guessing that was enough. Geez, it was a messy race, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, there was a lot going on. I didn't know where to look half the time. There was incidents here and there, but you know, you did the right job. You got it all just kept under control, kept it clean, and did what you've done all season. And at the end of the day, I was just saying then, you've not taken a win this season, but you've taken the championship with pure consistency. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, in that race, it was anyone got the rear a bit sideways or anything, it was off the throttle, and I just needed to keep the nose clean of the car, you know, not get caught up in silly little crashes on the first opening laps, and just keep it really clean. And I knew I only had to get sort of a top 5 or just be there. I think we could have definitely done better in the race. I think I probably could have won it. I got a penalty on one of the cautions. I've got no idea why, but you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if we've won the championship, that's enough. We'll take that. We'll go home. We'll have a beer on that, and go from there. Love it. Well, it's been awesome to watch this season, mate. What have you made of the championship as a whole? Oh, it's been fantastic. I've got to say, a big thanks to Alex and the boys and you, Chaz, for everything you've done. I'm definitely coming back for season 2 and 3 and 4. Let's hope this continues way on into the future. It's just the professionalism from the admin side, from Alex and the guys, has been great. With the live broadcast, and you know, we have a little drivers meeting before just to go over anything, and it really shows, I think. I mean, that race was a bit messy, but when you look at the whole season as a whole, it's been pretty good. And it shows the amount of effort the boys have been putting in, so it's got a big thanks to everyone at Vertex. Cracking stuff. Well,
very well done, mate. It's been awesome to watch, like I say. Very, very pleased for you. And I think to do it without taking a race win all season as well is quite a good feat in itself to be able to come away with, isn't it?
Yeah, you say that. I mean, I've got a pretty good buzz now, but there's nothing like taking a win, the adrenaline you get. So, I mean, let's hope not having a win this season leads to having loads of wins next season.
Cracking. Well, fingers crossed, Connor. It was good to speak to you, mate. Very well done, and have a beer on me, mate. Brilliant.
Cheers, Chaz.
See you
soon. Bye.
Connor Mills there, your new champion. They are apparently still working the points out in the background, so I hope he's the champion anyway. Somebody that will bring in as well that had another bit of an eventful race in that one that ended up on the podium. Mark Murphy from Turn 4 Motorsport joins me. Mark, how are we doing?
All right, actually. Glad I got that result.
Yeah, it was good to see you get the podium in the end, mate. I know that from watching earlier in the season at Brands Hatch, it was a feisty race no matter where you were in the pack and no matter on what circuit, so you must be pretty pleased to come away with a good result like that.
Yeah, road racing is very much second to me. I'm primarily an oval racer, and so yeah, that's why you see me done good at Daytona.
Yeah, it's like going back to your roots a little bit with racing like that. Talk to me about the amount of cautions tonight. Was it getting frustrating, or were you sort of quite pleased for having a bit of a break so you didn't have to constantly push it?
To be honest, it was to be expected. Martinsville in the NIS for iRacing last week, and it was a lot of caution. So I was expecting tight racing that you get here, and with tight racing, you're going to get cautions. So yeah, it's one of those.
And going into next season, are you going to be with us once again to try and test your mettle?
I'll have to see. It's just that I do have a lot of commitments outside of racing as well. So if it fits in, I'll be.
Well, good to see it, Mark. Very well done on your result tonight, mate. And fingers crossed we'll see you in at least a couple of rounds next season then.
Yes. Yes, thanks. So I say thanks to Alex for sorting this all out. I've done this on the drop of a hat. I've totally enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed your commentary as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Mark. Good to speak to you, buddy, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Bye now.
Mark Murphy there from Turn 4 Motorsport, top guy, and he's had a very eventful one. We'll bring in another race win for Alex Sedgwick. He's, well, sort of top of the pile in many things at the moment. That was a good end to the race there, Alex. Do you reckon that was all based on strategy, or was it just down to just got to go for it and not worry about it?
Absolute luck. I managed to, obviously, well, we were caught up in quite a lot of interesting scenarios early on. So I had quite a damaged car, and I spent, you know, half the race really down on power and actually quite struggling. But you know, whatever I was going to do, I was just going to keep my fast repair for as long as possible. And I, you know, soldiered through. Finally took it with, I think, about 40 laps to go or so in the end. And then obviously, luckily after that, I managed to get clear, get behind Aaron with a nice fresh car, and yeah, I think I was keeping with him, but I couldn't quite pass him. But thanks to some lap traffic, you know, I just got a little bit of an overlap and obviously managed to get the move done. So, you know, 3 for 3 on ovals, which is good.
Yeah.
Nice finish to the race. Obviously, it was very chaotic to start with, but you know, hopefully it was entertaining.
It certainly was from up here. There was so much going on, I didn't really know where to look. I wanted to also go over the Gil Linster incident where he came piling through the field while under caution. Not sure if you've seen that before, but I've been on the receiving end of one of those incidents while under a safety car in a race at Watkins Glen. And typically we were all on the back straight when it happened. And basically it's a situation where his internet stops connecting one way, so he's still uploading information so everyone knows where his car is, but he's not receiving any information, so he can't see the other car, so he's not even knowing that he's hitting anybody. What was it like, just to sort of give everybody, you know, a bit of an idea from getting a hit like that, how it sort of affects you?
It was, yeah, I mean, obviously from my point of view, I had no idea what was going on. You know, I was talking to the guys in race control, and that's when we realized it was a connection issue rather than, you know, the opposite of firing his way through. So yeah, you know, unfortunately, obviously that's one of the joys of online racing, that sometimes people do have little glitches with their internet, especially when we've got such a varied grid like we do. I think we've got people from 4 different continents in this series, so it is what it is. Obviously we had to throw another caution or two after to kind of sort things out from that, but yeah, we managed to overcome it, if you like, and touch wood, obviously it gave me a bit of damage. I think it obviously moved the positions around a little bit, but hopefully for the most part, obviously it didn't affect too many people's races, which is obviously the most important thing.
Yeah, that's it. If a situation arises like that, it's never going to be the case that everybody is happy with it. Things do happen like that, and as an organizer, I mean, I've been in a situation before where you can please most people. There's some people sometimes that obviously will come off from a situation like that, and not the best mindset, but sometimes there's only a certain amount you can do. So anyway,
exactly.
On the
I mean, it's the nature of short track racing as well, that of course people, their tempers going to rise, people are going to get into incidents with each other, and it's partially the cool thing about stock car races, that you get to see those tempers flare, and if you're on the receiving end, or it's not the best thing in the world, but for sure it makes interesting viewing. So I mean, hopefully it's been good to watch, obviously not just this race but the whole season, and obviously for season 2 we're gonna build on what we've done with this one basically, and hopefully make it even better.
Well, fingers crossed, mate. I'm very grateful to be brought on with that as well. Really looking forward to it. And of course, 2 weeks' time, everybody, we will be back once again, and things will be underway. It's probably the shortest break I've ever seen between 2 seasons in a league, but I'm all for it. It's good to keep the momentum going, and why wouldn't we? So, thank you very much, Alex. Well done on 3 wins at 3 ovals this season, mate. It's great to watch, and I'll probably speak to you in about 5 minutes anyway.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Alex Cedric there from Vertex Sports Management and the organiser of the series. Just brought in Billy Fletcher to join us in the box. Billy, you were leading near the end, but still 4th position in the end. Not a bad result at all, really. I mean, you said you were eyeing up top 10s. You must be happy with that one.
Yeah, I'm a little bit gutted about the end of line penalty I got through speeding in the pit lane.
I thought that's what it was. I thought, you know what? As soon as it happened, I thought he might have been speeding or something. But yeah, unfortunately, it's sometimes just the way, no speed limits on the speed limiters on these cars. But how was it racing on that track? I mean, I didn't want to pester you too much during the race, but yeah, it was. It seemed like it was quite good fun, really, overall.
It was really good fun. I must admit, I was driving the absolute arse off the car to try and get the catch up with Mr. Murphy, because I was a little bit gutted that he managed to actually pull ahead of me in the pit lane. I got the speeding penalty and he didn't.
Oh.
So yeah, I was trying very hard to catch up with Mark and Aaron, but just didn't quite have that edge and pace to catch them. But no, it was great fun, good racing as well. It got a little bit hairy at times. You had to make passes happen, you couldn't wait. You just had to do something about it. So I got into the quarter panel with a few people, but when you're fighting for a championship, you've got to do what you got to do. Yeah,
well, I agree. There was certainly some questionable moves tonight, but like Alex has said, on short track racing you're going to see that tempers flare. Just to confirm it as well, 206 points to Connor Mills. He wins the championship. Brian Crowell's second on 188. You had 180 points in third, mate. So you got third place in the championship after that one. So it all worked out in the end to be quite a good one.
No, do you know what? When I started this and I see who was obviously racing in this league, I didn't expect to get a third overall, so I'm really chuffed with that. Considering the 2 guys that beat me and what they do, I'm really pleased with that. Chuffed with that for the team.
Yeah, you should be, mate. It was absolutely cracking. Very well done. You can go and have a beer now and enjoy it. Before you do, though, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, mate?
Yeah, usual guys: Rob Pearson, Luxim, Paul Godden, Sim Stickers, obviously yourself, Vertex, Alex for getting all this on, and yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to next season. It's going to be great.
Awesome stuff. Well done, Billy. Like I say, have a beer on me, mate, and I'll speak to you again at some point very soon.
Cheers, mate. Good luck. Take care.
Cheers. Okay, so we'll have one more interview. We will bring in Guillaume Hesno, joins us in the chat. Guillaume, that was quite an eventful one, wasn't it, to say the least?
That's really frustrating for me, because I had a problem with my connection, so I had to restart my computer. So that ruined all my hope for this championship, and that was really, really frustrating for me.
Yeah, I can imagine, you know, technical issues are horrible to come by. I even had some of my technical issues of my own at the beginning of the stream as well. But when you're in a race, you know, it's a bit more urgent, to be honest. I don't know if you saw the incident with Gil Linster, but his connection basically stopped going one way. So he was still hitting cars, not knowing that he was hitting cars when they were under caution. Took a few guys out while they were under yellow, and, you know, it was another example of just how these sort of connection issues can really throw stuff out of the way. It's a bit crazy. Your pace seemed good at the end, though. I mean, you were definitely on the pace tonight. It's a bit of a shame you couldn't get the result because of the overall connection issue. But do you reckon next season, if you come back, you'll be fighting for the championship again?
That's for sure. I'm already registered for the next season, and I have the chance to be sponsored by Frascar for the next season, and I want to thank Real Timing to have followed me during this season. Without them, I would not have participated to this fantastic league. The racing is really great, and I'm looking forward for the next season on the event at Eldora.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be good to see you back out there, mate, and hopefully it goes better next time round. Just before I let you go, though, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to on top of that?
Yeah, my parents.
Love it. Good stuff. Are they watching tonight?
And all of my team Red Face, they support me during all this championship, and after the last race, it was pretty difficult to come back and put a lot of practice for this race. So thanks to them for all of the support.
Thank you very much, Guillaume. It's good to see you, mate. Very well done on your results this season, though. And hopefully I'll speak to you again at another point.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of the series, the end of the Vertex Stock Car Cup. And what a fantastic series we've had. Connor Mills is your champion, and very deservingly so as well. He's been awesome to watch. The whole thing has. I hope you've enjoyed everything. Thank you to Vertex Sports Management, Alex Sedgwick for organising the league, with Rob Pearson of Lux724, Mike Yao at Simply Race, Adam Owen as well from Vertex, and I've been your host, Chaz Draycott of Chaz Draycott Media this season. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want, YouTube as well, and on Twitch as well. I do my own personal streams there. There's a lot more swearing in those than this, though, so if you're not into swearing, I wouldn't recommend it. But thank you everybody for watching. It's been amazing fun. I've really enjoyed every single moment of it. I hope you have too. And we'll see you in Season 2 in 2 weeks' time. Have a great evening.
Take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines, but always know that you'll be safe. I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.